Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about is the problem with Tariq Nasheed. So for this video, I'll discuss what the problem with Tariq Nasheed is in a simple and straightforward way so anyone can understand it. So now I mention that, let's get started. So when it comes to Tariq Nasheed, the famous black activist who talks about the injustices of the black community, what exactly is the problem with Tariq Nasheed? Okay, for this person who, in a lot of cases, comes off as he says the realest shit ever. Well, the simple problem with him is that his message is divisive, or in other words, divides the black community. Because the truth of the matter is about Tariq Nasheed is he's been expressing in recent times compared to previous generations of black activists who've talked more about unity is a divisive way of thinking and seeing the black community, which is this whole let's only focus on African Americans and let's forget about the rest of the black community, particularly whether it could be black Caribbean people or black, Africans, okay? Which, to put it bluntly, I can see why it happens. There's a lot of pain, but at the same time, logically speaking, you also have to take into consideration, no surprise, um, at the same time, that is not a very smart move. And that's a problem with Tariq Nasheed, is that his way of thinking is just simply down to dividing a community that's already gone through so much problems anyway. Because I remember I watched one of his videos where he talked about the problem with this whole theory, which of course some Latinos were doing that, which I can understand, especially with how anti-black and racist some Latinos are. I can understand where his frustration was coming from for that one when he mentioned dumb, which is something I'm going to get into for another video. But when it comes to um when he had a discussion about the formation of you know rap hip hop music, apparently they said that a lot of the founders of rap music or people who contribute to its development were Jamaicans, to be quite honest with you. And when he mentioned that, which even though Jamaicans and African Americans are the same people for the very most part, he actually got was complaining and saying the Jamaicans had nothing to do with the formation of rap music, rap, hip hop, and so on and so forth. And it's not just about rap music; it's about other things as well, for that matter. Okay, he's this had a seemingly anti-Jamaican view and opinions and views on a lot of things, and just this whole fuck everyone else in the black community. Let's only focus on African Americans, and that is the problem with his videos I have with the message. Because at the end of the day, as black people, as I'm certain you're aware, we are already the most oppressed group of people on the face of the planet, okay? We already are discriminated against everywhere we go in one way, shape, or form. Whether it could be mild or severe, everywhere we go, we always stand out, okay? And we already experience enough discrimination. Why do we want to do something or believe a way of thinking that just further divides the community, to be honest with you? Okay, because truth of the matter is the black community already has enough division for that matter. Okay, even we are a community of people that even in our own city, in a freaking city, in like America, for example, there's already enough division as it is already. Okay, there's places, if you in some parts of America, you can't even wear certain colors to certain parts of the city because people are already going to assume you're, of course, a rival gang member. Okay, that's the truth about the black community. We already have enough division, even within the own nations we live in, let alone the cities for that matter. Okay, so to somehow, so for a community that's so divided, why do we not? We need to waste our time fighting amongst ourselves, you know, on levels that are kind of outdated. Or well, oh, you're a black Jamaican or you're a black Haitian or wow, versus being African American, African Americans versus black British people, African Americans versus Africans, African Americans versus Jamaicans, African Americans against Trinidadians, African Americans against Haitians, all that type of stuff. Because that way of thinking is stupid. Because the truth of the matter is, in a world that is already full of so much anti-black racism, We need as much unity as possible. This whole crap about, oh, you're from this group or from that group, and I don't like people from this group or that group is so stupid and dumb anyway, and it doesn't make any sense. And that's exactly literally what I have to say about it. Because the truth of the matter is, I hear what the argument a lot of African Americans make, okay? A lot of the arguments they make is that, oh, well, people hate on us because, well, we feel that way because everyone makes fun of us and talks down on us. A lot of black Jamaicans or black Caribbean people and black Africans talk down upon us. And don't get me wrong, I'm not denying this fact. I know this has happened and I'm aware of it, but so exactly have a lot of African Americans done that exact same thing too. Being a black Canadian, I have heard so much, and in the past it used to be actually very severe, just black African Americans hating on us for no apparent reason. The truth of the matter. They would hate on us, say all sorts of things like, "Oh, are there any black people in Canada?" Or like, what do you guys eat, like, like eat with your food maple syrup and all that type of stuff. um or even a classic, of course, infamous as well, no surprise, are you guys even black enough? Or for that matter, are you guys even black for that matter? Or are you something else? And that's exactly what I'm trying to say here. So already a divided community as it is, for that matter, okay? um for that matter, okay? We're already so much division in our community, and the hating on anyone is something you see in on both sides. It's not one particular side. Some people, African Americans, claim that they hate on that Africans hate on African Americans or something like that. But at the same time, you also have to take something else in consideration. So do African Americans hate on Africans, especially if you look at those old movies, whether it's an old movie specifically or it's based off of things that happened decades ago. You used to see those African Americans when you made certain comments, particularly saying things like, "Oh, do you know you're from Africa?" or things like that. They used to flip the freaking shit out or something. And that's what I'm trying to say here. And these are African Americans, and obviously at the time, no surprise, there was actually very little Africans, specifically from Africa, the motherland, in America. So there wasn't, you can't make the argument, oh, we only started hating on them because a lot of them were immigrating to America and were hitting on us and calling us lazy and all that type of stuff. No, this was going on in like the 1920s and 1930s, 1940s. African Americans were hating on black Africans, for that matter, Africans from Africa directly, like Nigeria, Congo and all those places and stuff, making fun of them and stuff and saying that they live in like freaking huts and all that type of stuff, because a lot of the white slave masters going back a long time ago used to teach African Americans, which of course they could care less, they're just saying that to divide them, but they used to teach African Americans, that they were superior to Africans. So did they do the same thing in Jamaica to black Jamaicans. They told black Jamaicans, you guys are more civilized than Africans, and so on and so forth. So to say that it's because the whole world is anti-African American, even in a black community, is a complete myth. We all hate on each other in one way, shape, or form. So to say that, oh, all of a sudden, it's a case of the whole world's against us is simply bullshit, for that matter, okay? And African American, and to end this off, aside from that point, the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, we are, if as long as you're a member of the African diaspora, we literally are the same people. The slave masters could care less about what tribe you are from, okay? Whether you're from Jamaica, Trinidad, Haiti, or America, you probably have a long distance relative who live in one of those places you're not even aware is a long distance relative. Besides, all of us, regardless, no matter how you look at it, have a long distance relative who, guess what, is in Africa anyway. So the truth of the matter is, we are all the same people. It doesn't really matter in the end of the day. There's no such thing as, oh, I'm African American. We're genetically different than Africans from Africa, or we're genetically different from Jamaicans or something, and so on and so forth. Because at the end of the day, maybe there might be slight variations, but in the end of the day, truth be told, we're the same exact freaking people, regardless of where you go. We're the same people because we all have long distance relatives, direct relatives who were shipped from one place in America to another place in the Americas, and so on and so forth. So the truth of the matter is that idea is a complete myth. That is the truth of the matter. This idea that there's somehow, some way, some sort of uh anti-blackness, anti-African Americanism, the African community in general, the black community in general, is simply a myth. And both sides have hated on each other as well. And in the end of the day, we're still the same people. So no matter how you look at it, this whole argument about African Americans versus Africans and this group should talk poorly about us and they mistreat us and this and that is stupid in the end of the day, no matter how you look at it. Um, so, because at the end of the day, we're still the same people in the end of the day. And all of us are all guilty of putting each other down, regardless of what place we are from. So, that's the truth of the matter, for that matter. And anyway, this is my video. I hope you found it educational and I hope you learned something as well. And just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumb this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say, and simply put, I'm out. So, bye.